Joining us now, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Okay, Senator Mitch McConnell today says the Biden administration is again trying to paint a false picture of what's happening at the border. There was a lot of media headlines about this across the country, that the number of unaccompanied children at the border dropped. But Senator McConnell says it's because they were transferring large number of immigrant children, illegal border crossers, between government agencies, and that it didn't drop. What do you say?
Well, I think if Groucho Marx were here, he would say, who are you going to believe, the president or your lying eyes? Because the reality is if you talk to Border Patrol officials, if you talk to ICE officials, they will tell you this crisis is unprecedented. We just did, Liz, a deposition last week in one of our lawsuits against the Biden administration. The regional director here in the Phoenix ICE office literally said that as a result of the lack of detainers, there are criminals that are being released into our community. We know those detainer numbers have gone from about 10,000 a month last year to about less than 2,500 the last 2 months. So what is happening is the Biden administration is not detaining people. They're not detaining people. That means they're not processing them for deportation. When they're not processing them for deportation, that means people that have been convicted or charged with crimes are being released into our communities. As a result of this decriminalization and incentivization, kids now are being caught up as pawns in this whole game the Biden administration's playing.
Yeah, we're seeing the Biden administration is releasing about a third of the individuals who are coming to this country and trying to cross. 178,000 trying to cross. About a third of them, 62,000, have been released without a notice to appear in court. You know, painting the picture of the border crisis as turning around as the success there. That's what the Biden administration is being accused of. Texas Democrat Henry Cuellar also said that the Biden administration was playing a shell game using fake photos to show empty border facilities when they simply moved illegal border crossers to other facilities next door. Sir, let's listen to Senator McConnell on this. Watch this.
So let me say that one more time. 2,217% more kids without parents at our border on President Biden's watch. The administration has tried to boast that the number of unaccompanied kids in the custody of the Department of Homeland Security has gone down. It has, because they've transferred large numbers of kids from DHS to HHS. There are now more than 19,000 children in the custody of Health and Human Services, and hundreds more arriving every single day.
So you really can you believe the headlines coming out of the Biden administration on any success here?
Well, look, Liz, I was a prosecutor, and you have to recognize that what else has the Biden administration said or done? This is the reality. Vice President Harris has done little other than offering up $310 million aid to Central American countries. They've done little to come here and actually see what's going on at the border. They've done absolutely nothing as far as coordinating with law enforcement. So whenever the Biden administration is talking, I keep thinking to myself, someone needs to call him Let Him Go Joe, because that's what's happening. They are not enforcing the laws. You just talked about these notice to appears they aren't giving people. So they're basically saying to people, come on over and we'll trust you that at some point over the next few years you'll show up. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But most importantly, let's talk about, when we're talking about these kids, this is the thing, Liz. This is the United Flippin' States of America. This isn't the border between Iraq and Syria where we have refugee camps with a bunch of kids. It is shame on the Biden administration that you have, whether it's 18,000 or 20,000 kids in custody. As you alluded to, Representative Cuellar, who's a Democrat, has said there's no transparency. What is the Biden administration hiding, and why are they hiding it? The reality is that according to even immigration officials here, everyone, it is estimated 2 million people will illegally cross the border just this year. It's like the entire state of Nebraska. And no matter what the Biden administration says, that is the reality. No matter what they say, people are coming across here and being let out in our communities that should be detained and processed for deportation. Regardless of what they say, there are tens of thousands of kids right now in federal custody. Regardless of what they say, we know ICE has issued contracts for $86, $87 million to house people that don't have legal status here. It is unconscionable what they're doing, and it should break everyone's heart, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. Shame on the Biden administration.
All right. Attorney General Mark Brnovich, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Liz.